So it is a special joy for us to be able to have you here. You are, in fact, in so many ways, the illustrious successor of a most illustrious teacher, the late lamented great President Abdurrahman Wahid Gus Dur. And more than 20 years, AJC pioneered this relationship with him. And he spoke at the AJC annual meeting 16 years ago. He also visited Israel 3 times. But you are now in his footsteps, where all this comes together. You are here with AJC at this historic gathering here in Jerusalem. Perhaps you could share with us how you feel in this regard, to be in his footsteps in effect, but to be at this historic gathering with AJC here in Jerusalem.
Thank you, Rabbi David Rosen, and thank you for giving us the honor of this opportunity. You know, it is in our the fortunate of Nahdlatul Ulama and Indonesia, that President Abdurrahman Wahid Gus Dur passed away, leaving a generation of disciples that is then striving in following his step. And what I and my colleagues have been doing until our visit to Jerusalem this moment is simply an effort to continue the work of President Abdurrahman Wahid.
But this is not just a continuation. At this particular moment in time, your presence here also signifies something to the world. What meaning does that have for you?
The ideal, the vision that President Abdurrahman Wahid had is a vision of a long future for human civilization that you cannot suppose to have immediate achievement for any effort. So President Abdurrahman Wahid had done his part in pursuing the vision, and now it is the turn of the generation of his disciple to continue his work. And we are fortunate that thanks to what President Abdurrahman Wahid did, we are already reaching improvement in our works, and that we are now seeing a clearer path forward.
In his remarks to AJC at that time in Washington, he spoke of a special centuries-old relationship between Islam and Judaism. Could you perhaps talk about that? How do you see the relationship between Islam and Judaism?
Yeah, the relationship between Islam and Judaism is something that, what would I put it, as fluctuative, you know. Sometimes it's a good, close relationship, but in other part of history there are conflicts and tensions. You know. Depends on the dynamics in the history. Now, but overall, then we have to acknowledge that there are problems in the relationship between Islam and Judaism, and the problems, some of the problems, lays within the teachings of the religion itself. Now, in our current context of reality, people of religion, including Islam and Judaism, need to find a new way of first functioning the religion into the real life, and second, find a new moral interpretation on religion that will guide people from different religion to have more harmonious relationship with one another.
So do you think, I assume you are indicating that it's possible to interpret certain texts in the Quran which are not always complementary to Jews, or certain hadiths which sometimes can be very problematic, that it's possible to interpret these in a way that is not going to remain obstacles to the relationship between Muslims and Jews?
It's not just possible, but it is a must. See, because every verse of Quran was revealed in connection with a certain particular context of reality at that time. And also, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, when he said something, he said it in relation with the current, with a particular happening at the time. So the Quran and the Hadith are both basically a historical document that contains the guidance of morality in responding to particular situation. When the situation, the reality changes, then the manifestation of the spirit of morality should be changed also.
So, relating to this, you, as Gus Dur before you, have emphasized the importance of combating extremism and of promoting a more enlightened approach. Do you think that you in Indonesia have discovered something special in this regard? Do you think you have something to be able to share with the world that has its own very significant place and vision?
It is not about offering something from Indonesia, because Indonesia itself is not free from problems. We have our own problems. We have indeed a genuine local indigenous culture that helped the society to develop a harmonious relationship within heterogeneous environment. But yet we still have all this problem related to religion, including Islam. Now, what we are facing together now, the world is facing together, is a situation where there are conflicts everywhere in different parts of the world. And in those conflicts, almost consistently, religion is used as justification or weapon for conflict. Now, we are then facing a question: do we want this to continue, or do we want an alternative future? If we want this to continue, the consequence is obvious. Nobody would survive with this kind of trending, increasing, troublesome situation. If we want an alternative, we have to alter our way in handling things. Now, while now religion is used as justification and weapon for conflict, we people of religion should ask ourselves, is it really the true function of religion? What is people doing now? Or is there any way, is there a way that religion can function to provide inspiration for solution to all these conflicts? See, to the way I see it, the Nahdlatul Ulama sees is that the world needs to change. All sides need to change. Because if we want solution, let me make a metaphor here. Doctor says that any medicine cannot work to people with diabetes or heart problem if these people don't change their lifestyle or diet. And there is a verse in Quran, Inna Allah la yughayyiru ma biqawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. Verily, Allah will not change the condition of a society of people until they change what is in their heart. Now, we've been involving in conflict, fighting for things, resources, powers, whatever, with intention to defeat others. And when in the course of history we come into a situation where we simply cannot, tell anymore how it was start and how we should end. I think now what is left to us is simply the choice. And the very fundamental choice that can give us an opportunity for a solution, we believe, is a choice of what in Islamic term called rahmah, meaning compassion and caring about others. We need to choose rahmah, because it is the beginning of anything, any good thing that we can hope emerge after that. If we choose rahmah, we can begin to talk about justice, because justice is not just about demanding it, but it's also about willingness to provide justice for others. If people do not have rahmah, do not have compassion and caring about others, these people will never be willing to provide justice to others. So if I had to make a call to the world, I would want to call the world, let us choose rahmah so that we can have
And of course, not for nothing is God referred to in Islam as Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the most compassionate, the merciful one. And in Jewish tradition as Har-Rahman, the merciful one. And the Rachamim is considered to be therefore the demonstration of the divine attributes and the way we lead our lives. So this is perhaps the most dramatic indication of how close we are in spirit in terms of our religious tradition and heritage. Pak Yahya, we are deeply grateful to you for bringing this message of rahmah to us all. We hope that you will be indeed an inspiration to Muslims throughout the world, that we may find reconciliation and we may be a blessing to one another, and that AJC will be able to continue to play this role to facilitate true reconciliation and peace. Thank you.